How do you keep your students feeling confident and prepared for semester exams while keeping yourself sane in the process? Well, hey there, Math Teacher Bestie. I'm Kristen Moore. Welcome back to the Modern Math Teacher Podcast. If you've ever felt the pressure of managing review sessions, calming anxious students, and grading mountains of tests, you are not alone. But don't worry, today I'm sharing my favorite strategies to keep both you and your students safe and sane this semester exam season. You guys are going to crush semester exams without the stress. We'll talk about running effective review stations, managing test anxiety, and even streamlining your grading process so you can head into winter break feeling accomplished. You up for it? Let's do this. Now, let's go ahead and start with review sessions, okay? We want to have effective review strategies for our students, and a strong review plan is the foundation for exam success, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming for you or for your student. Here are a few strategies I love using. Number one, set up review stations. So instead of reviewing everything as a whole class, break your review into different stations that target specific skills or concepts. Maybe, it's algebra or graphing or writing equations or transformations if you're talking geometry, right? Or word problems. Students can then rotate through the different stations, get focused practice where they need it the most, and this keeps your students engaged and lets you provide targeted support when you see students struggling at a specific station. Next up, you want to make it interactive with games. Who says review can't be fun? Okay, using games like Kahoot, quizzes. I don't actually know what it is, but my students love using it. Okay, so Kahoot, quizzes, or Jeopardy can turn your review sessions into something your students actually look forward to. These tools are really great for reinforcing concepts while keeping that energy high and gamified, and just a fun way to go through some concepts that you maybe haven't seen since, August, right? Okay. And strategy number 3, provide a really clear study guide for your students. A study guide with the key concepts, example problems, maybe tips for tackling the test can make a world of difference for your students. Be sure to include a mixture of problem types that reflect what your students are going to see on the exam. And you can even encourage your students to create their own practice problems as part of their study routine. They can work on this when they've got some extra time in the classroom. They can work on it when they're at home. It's just a great, handy, physical copy of a study guide that they can use to help prepare them for the exam. Now, let's keep talking about our students and how we can support them. It's great to be prepared, but we also have to help them manage their test anxiety, right? That's the elephant in the room. We've all had students who just freeze up or feel overwhelmed at the thought of exams, but here are 4 ways that you can help. Number 1, teach relaxation techniques, okay? Spend a few minutes before the test teaching simple relaxation strategies like deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. You would be amazed at how much this can help students calm their own nerves and regulate their system, okay? Also, you want to focus on growth over perfection, right? Remind your students that this one test doesn't define their abilities. Really emphasize that the progress and the effort over getting everything right, okay? This mindset shift can help ease the anxiety and boost their confidence, right? Number 3 goes along with that, normalize mistakes, okay? So share about times that you've made mistakes in school and how you learn from them. Let your students know that it's okay to mess up. It's part of the learning process, and you aren't expecting perfection from them. All right. And number 4, practice testing simulation. So, give your students some low stakes practice tests in a similar format to the real exam, as like a practice for the semester exam. This can really help reduce anxiety by familiarizing them with the test structure and timing. This is especially important if your final exam is written in a way that is different from all the other assessments you do in your classroom, okay? So give them a little bit of practice so that they know what to expect going into it. All right, now we've talked about students and how we can help them prepare for the exams, but let's talk about how to make your life easier as the teacher. We know how much work goes into preparing for exams, so here are some tips to help you lighten the load. Number 1, use exit tickets. Okay, use exit tickets and past work to guide the review. Take a look at your students' performance on past quizzes, assignments, and even those exit tickets you've been collecting. This will help you identify common misconceptions and prioritize what needs the most review. These are then review activities and ideas that you can use to do with the whole class in conjunction with those like rotating stations that maybe are topics that students more readily, more easily, more I don't know, more often got correct than not. Okay. Also, I want you to group feedback instead of grading everything. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Work smarter, not harder, my friends. Don't grade everything. Okay, so instead of grading every single practice problem, consider grouping similar issues and giving whole class feedback. So again, you're going to analyze that data real quick. It's going to save you time while still addressing the gaps. I really like using warm-up problems or exit ticket problems to help me with this. It's just a quick way to get that in, to get that whole group instruction in there, and then to get a quick formative assessment at the end. Also, create a grading rubric or a key in advance. If you are not using a digital test where it's going to be self-grading for you, you want to go ahead and create a detailed rubric or answer key for your exams. It's going to make your grading faster. It's going to be more consistent, especially for those like constructed response questions where there's a little bit more gray area and they got it right, but how right did they get it? Okay. And number 4, just don't forget to plan for some self-care, okay? Don't forget to take care of yourself during exam week, whether it is delegating tasks or setting aside some time to decompress or just treating yourself to your favorite snack halfway through 8 hours of staring at kids taking exams. Make sure you're prioritizing your well-being too. All right, you guys, this was a quickie, but as you head into exam season, I want you to remember that preparation and mindset are everything for both you and your students. With thoughtful review sessions, strategies for managing anxiety, and streamlining the grading process on your end, you all can tackle exams with confidence. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's quick episode. Here's to a successful, low-stress exam season for you and your students. Keep supporting your students, keep setting them up for success, and as always, you guys, keep it real.